Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to our humble little starting zone. In today's episode, we are going to begin to produce the red science packs automatically, as we have a lot of stuff we need to research, and as such, I've just researched automation, meaning we can now make the assembling machine and the long-handed inserters, both of which we are going to be using a lot of very, very soon. So right away, I'm going to quickly produce 5 of these in my inventory just while I plan out our next course of action. So off camera, I've started getting the copper smelted all by itself, so now we have a endless supply of copper plates, well, until the copper reserves run out. So we now have copper and iron in excess, along with all the coal we've been producing, which is quite a lot. The big question I have is how we're going to set up the smeltery. Since we will eventually run out of iron and copper here, particularly the iron, since this isn't really a big reserve of it, I would like to have all of the major smeltery areas permanently here. How I've decided I'm going to be doing the factory is everything is going to be piped into this section here, as it's going to be very easy to defend, and I like the idea of having a centralized factory with resource gatherers out in the field for the future, so being transported via trains or just exceedingly long transport belts, whichever one's easier depending on how far they actually are. And since this is the only iron reserve really in the area, we're probably going to need that a lot sooner than usual, so let's get ourselves started then. We're going to need a lot of stone furnaces, so let's make 5 at a time, so make 10 of them, and let's start setting up the 2 areas. I was originally going to have copper and iron in the same kind of smeltery area, but to make things easier and neater for the future, I think the copper and the iron are going to be smelted separately, and both of them kind of here. So the iron smeltery here, copper smeltery here, then they both feed into the main transport belt, which will go along the right-hand side here. So I think I have enough stuff in my inventory to simply dismantle this and start recreating it, because right now it's just a mess. It served its purpose, but now it's time to start neatening things up. So, I'm going to remove you, take all the iron plates with you, and I'm going to quickly remove everything, as I find when everything's removed it's a lot easier to start visualizing where everything should go. However, what I could do is continue researching stuff in the background, so I really do need turrets. Turrets are something I'm going to need desperately very soon, so start researching that, and we'll quickly make some science in our backpack as well whilst we're doing pretty much nothing but dismantling stuff. So I'll be right back once all of this is removed. All nice and clean, so let's get started putting the stuff back. One thing I do want to test, because I recall someone telling me this a long time ago, is where exactly is the border of where the electric mining drill can actually mine? Is it where the box ends, or is it where this little overlay ends? And the only way to really find out that is to simply allow it to mine and see if any of these get removed. Okay, so it is the overlay, which means I was being very inefficient by putting them next to each other. It simply meant I was double mining certain blocks. Okay then. So for now, remove that. Just put these here for now, just a placeholder. What I would like is to completely saturate this actually with the mining drills. I want everything set up so we can go bigger and better a lot easier. Right now I'm making a lot of stuff in my inventory, so let's just put these down as they are. If I put that there and put this here, that's remining this whole section. That is a bit problematic, but okay, let's put this like this. Will they continue to mine it even if it's underneath the transport belt, I wonder? I guess we'll find out in the future. Then I'll have 2 facing upwards, although that will mine out a lot faster. I think that'll be okay for now, having 4 of them. So this I'm going to curve away anyway, and go down to this smelting area. This I've actually kept mostly the same with the copper, as this should be a lot easier to do because we have all the space up top. So let's do this first, and get the hang of exactly how I'm going to do this. Eventually I will have a lot more copper flowing down here, so once again I'm trying to plan for the future this time. let's sort out electricity first. There is a way to do this, I remember. You can keep on placing it automatically with the maximum, but I can't remember exactly how to do it. I think it's something to do with spacebar or something. I'll figure it out off camera. Right now, I just want to make sure I've got everything sorted. That should be enough. Oh, this one has to be on the left-hand side, and that just feels weird to me. Could I move these one down by any chance? No, I couldn't. Yeah, having it like this is going to be an issue regardless how I do it, so... just make sure it's symmetrical on both sides. What I could do is this. There we are. 3 on the left-hand side, 3 on the right-hand side. It's all symmetrical and nice and stuff. I think. I'm going to have to double check that later, aren't I? And I do need more inserters. And then both of those will collect from the outside, which will then all funnel into the main transport belt. Then we'll have iron on one side and copper on the other. Seems pretty logical to me. So I'll just allow all this stuff to build up, then we'll start placing that. I do have some fast inserters and some long-handed inserters, but we don't really need those for this because of how slow the smelting is. The speed of the inserters is not the limiting factor, so there's no point in speeding these up. Definitely need more copper though. Perhaps I'll upgrade the copper first, since we're mining it out with only 1 at the moment. So if that can do all that, then here means it's touching. No, here means it's touching, yeah? Yeah, okay. And same again. The power cables and stuff we can sort out later, honestly. Getting this thing working is the most important thing. Then we can sort out the power cables so they're all in much neater positions. Right now, as long as it's working, I'm happy. And you along there. So I'm just going to do that again over on the iron section, and there we have it. That's quite a lot of smelting we can do at any given time. Now this will need to be changed in the future once we get the electric furnaces, which of course are not only more efficient but also a lot easier to handle, since we don't have to have them coal rather constantly flowing in. There we go. And this will be the main conveyor belt of the future. So let's start making more of those, and I'll start placing all of this, and I'll be right back once I've simply copied that over to here. The iron has been set up, but I've had a bit of a change of heart. Rather than having the copper and the iron on the same transport belt, which I just did for a very short period of time, I've decided instead to have them both on separate belts. I think this will be a little bit easier right now, as I have no real easy way to separate the two belts at any given time, and straight away, I want to separate one of the belts, so I'm going to start siphoning off iron for a very special reason. Although this isn't actually going to be used for the science, which was our main goal at the start, we are going to be now making some ammunition, because I think that's kind of cool and stuff, and I do actually need ammunition for the gun turrets, although I don't really need too much since I haven't even built my first gun turret yet. Now, the regular magazines are very easy to make. It's simply iron plate, so this is probably the easiest split I'll ever have, and I'm fairly certain we can actually limit how much the wooden chest can take by doing this. There we are. So now it can only hold 1 stack, because I don't want to use up too much iron for this, honestly. So just have that. Then we'll drag the cables along. Look how neat these cables are! Isn't it beautiful? Sadly though, this one's going to have to just skip on over. Like so. Is there anywhere we can put it? Going to have two anyway, sadly. Again, all that kind of stuff we'll do later. So this, I would very much like you to start producing regular magazines. So this will slowly do that, which will then slowly fill the box. Since, once we start adding turrets, they're all going to be manually loaded for now. Later on, we'll figure out ways to get the ammunition to the turrets, but since we're only going to probably set up like 4, I'm going to have one here, one here, one here, one here. I've even started researching stone walls so we can actually protect the turrets as well. So that'll be good for the future, but for now, we still need to focus on the science. So for science, we're going to need iron again, so we'll make our next transport belt down here. Make it a bit compact. Actually, we should give it a bit more space, since we are going to have to extend this later, well, sorry, expand that later for ammunition. So it'd be best if we just move down a little bit. Then we have our first science set here, once again, which will be expanded massively later on, because we'll need red science for the distant future. About here, okay. So, what do we need first of all? We need iron, because iron is going to need to be transformed into iron gear wheels. Let's move this like this to make it a bit easier on myself, so I can see what I'm actually doing. Now, iron gear wheels, I kind of want as a separate thing as well, because we're going to use that for a lot, but for now we'll just have it completely contained. So if I need iron gear wheels again in the future, for now, we'll just have to make iron gear wheels on every single line we have. Again, I'll probably change all this later on. Don't think anything I'm doing right now is permanent, because it really, really isn't. It's just a matter of getting everything up and running as fast as possible, because enemies are kind of scary and stuff, as you might imagine. So this will produce iron gear wheels. Actually, rather quickly. Excellent. But now I do need some copper. So, let's quickly route this. Actually, we can put this a bit further back to make it easier on myself. Okay, so we're separating the copper here. Probably an easier way to do it than the way I'm about to do it, but once again, all doing it off camera later. Neatening things up is kind of the boring part, honestly, so we'll make sure to do that off camera as much as possible. And then you can go over here. Like this. And then we'll just go right back under again. Again, I promise this will be so much neater later on. And so we have copper on one side, and we have the gears on the other, which means now we simply need to put that into one final assembly machine, which will be producing the red science. Which again, for now, it's so many for nows. It really is just a matter of I don't have enough time and stuff to really sort all this out in a more larger scale plan, but for now, this is what we're going to do. We'll just plonk this lab right here, so we're feeding red science constantly into a single lab. In the future, we're going to have a lot more of this, so more gear machines and more science machines. And of course more labs as well, which we'll transfer to. So now we have basic red science production. Ooh, my electricity doesn't seem to be completely happy. Are we finally out of electricity? We're using it all. Okay, we're right on the edge now of actually needing more electricity, so that's pretty cool. Gun turret upgrade 1 increases damage, but we need green science, which we're not ready for just yet. Steel processing, we have electronics, which is the smart inserter, which will actually make my life a lot easier. We have iron armor, there's a lot of stuff. Military, so we can have a shotgun or a submachine gun. Inserter stack increase, actually that's really good as well. There's a lot of stuff I want right now. Tool belts are actually really cool as well. For now, we'll just go for the next level of electronics so we can start getting the smart inserter. So now that's set up, we can actually get to work making this on a larger scale. But first, I would like to actually make some gun turrets. And for that, I'm going to need a little bit more iron. What would be best, maybe, is making an overflow. Would it be best, though? Would that be the best idea, making an overflow right now? Yeah, maybe. Let's leave it for now. Let's just leave it just moving to here for now. We could have it all being stacked into some boxes, but honestly, I feel that might be wasteful because of how easy it is to simply collect these things, and I don't want them just constantly running into the void of a box. How many have we made? Made 70 regular magazines. So for now, where do we need to defend? If we put one here and one here, that can defend from this way quite effectively. Put one here from that way. That only leaves the copper section vulnerable, so maybe one more afterwards. I've got this idea in my mind for what I'm going to do way later, but for now it's just so simplistic and just cobbled together. The start of many games, I suppose. I mean, I could be really thinking about the future, but I'm happy we've now got red science. Because it means we can start researching stuff, which means I don't have to worry about everything. And now I don't have to worry about everything, I can actually focus on working. Ah, there's actually the coal vulnerable as well. Trees, get out of my way. Yep, I'm going to need more of these. Still happy that I've got a couple of them, though. The enemies will go for the source of pollution normally, won't they? Which is if we... Is it tab? Oh yeah, if we press tab, as we can see, sorry, alt, we can already see all of this is pollution. Yeah. And we can also look at more specific things as well if we click on factories and stuff, but I won't right now. The main sources of pollution are going to be these two and the smelting section. The smelting section is going to be protected by the turrets. This actually won't be producing any pollution up here, or very small... Oh, wait, no. Pollution 9. Okay, very small pollution in comparison to these, which are pollution 1.8 each. And then the big guy down here... Actually, no, the boilers down here are pollution 6 each. So, yeah, the smelter is definitely the source of the vast majority of our pollution, just down to sheer size. And we definitely need more electric very, very soon. So I will be upgrading that. So, what's our next point then? More science? I think more science is definitely something we need. So to extend this is actually pretty easy. We just make more assembly machines. And that's pretty much it. Just extend it along. So, let's do that. I would like to have at least 3 machines making science. Then I would like at least 3 labs. After that's been placed down, then we need to upgrade the electricity. So, let's make ourselves some more transport belts, let's make ourselves some more assembly machines, and let's get started putting all this stuff down. I stopped the recording for like 2 seconds to get a drink, and apparently I was under attack by biters. The first enemy wave has just appeared, so, oh look, there's enemies there, so the hive is somewhere to the east, and of course we don't currently have a radar, which makes things a lot scarier because I have no idea what's going on. We need to get our defences sorted a lot sooner than I thought we had, so I actually thought we had a lot longer than we do. Maybe it's because well, the last time I played was a much, much older version. So 4. Let's go overboard for a second. Overboard for now, of course. Later on this will be absolutely nothing. I always run out of something. I can never plan that far ahead. I'm terrible at planning ahead. So it's a good job I'm playing a game which relies heavily on you planning ahead. That's actually a pretty good way to set this up, in terms of how many poles we need. Maybe I'll do that in the future like that. Okay, so all of you, I would like to be making red science. And that will eventually have to be transported out to a science area because we'll need to mix red and green and everything else. But that looks pretty good to me. Very simple, very straightforward. We're now making red science, and quite a bit of it as well. Electricity-wise, right now we are really in a bad position, so that should be my top priority. That, and more gun turrets. And automated... Actually, I was going to say automated will have to wait, but now we know where the enemies are coming from, it wouldn't be too difficult to set up an automated ammunition cycle. Particularly since I'm going to wall off here. Oh, look, there's an enemy right there. That there is the small biter. The weakest of the enemies, and yet still something which terrifies me right now. And for now, we'll just put science here, because we can. Eventually, though, we will need a dedicated science area, but considering I can't even really afford these two in terms of power, it really doesn't matter too much. Also, it doesn't matter that I'm clearly making too many gears, because thankfully, once it all fills up, it just stops working, so... It's just wasted metal actually making the things in the first place. Let's put this here to make it easier on myself as well. Everything's about making it easier for myself right now. Plop that there. And so we have 2 science. Yay! We're making things. Okay. So this is a pretty simple concept. We're currently automatically making ammunition. Now these guns, although great, will run out of ammunition, as you might imagine, which is a problem, because things are going to kill me. I need stone bricks. Oh, I need to make automatic stone bricks. Ah, everything in this game. Okay, so for now we're just going to have to rely on sheer firepower and no defense, because I don't really have time to set up some automatic smelting for that. I will do in the future, but not right now. Wow, there's a lot of stone in there. Do you have any stone nearby here? That would make things a lot easier having it close. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of stone there. Maybe I could have set it up quickly. Oh, but then I'll need coal. Okay, we'll do that in a bit. That's for later. And oh. Well, this speeds things up. Thank you. The lazy way, just grab all the stuff I've already made. Thank you. So now I can make 7 of them. Excellent. Make a few more, and make me a load. In fact, make me all the transport belts. There we are. All queued up. So, we're going to be grabbing the ammunition out of the box, which will then go onto a transport belt. This is going to be ugly and really simplistic. The transport belt's then going to go all the way down here, then to the left. On the way along, it's going to have inserters into gun turrets, meaning we're going to make a wall of guns to protect us from the east. Because at the moment, there's the heart. Oh my lord, there's 2 spitter spawners right there. And there's loads of them right now, which means their attack is probably going to happen sometime very soon. Oh, I was going to do this next episode. This was next episode's plan, to do the ammunition stuff. We'll refine the ammunition concept later, okay? I think I'm doing okay for not playing in so long. Maybe try to make this a bit closer in. Why is it so far? Yeah, why are we making this so far out? Remove all of this. Move it further in. And then down. Like this. And then in. And that will be our wall of guns. For now. Yay, we have something researched. And because it's all automatic, just pick another one with red. What do I want next then? I will need that for the green science, but for now I have more stuff I actually want to research first. So let's just don't really need lamps. The lamps are cool, but I don't really need them right now. Armor crafting would be useful, but again, not something I need right now. Military would be useful, not something I need right now, so I think really steel processing so we can start getting, steel sorted. So ammunition should now be flowing down, which it is, good. So we just need guns at regular intervals. Don't really need them too much up here, so let's focus on where we actually need them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You. And I'll just carry on doing that until we have all the guns there. Oh, wait, no, we have to be one further. Do I have to be one further out? No, we're fine, okay. And I'll just carry on doing this for a little bit, and I'll be right back once we have our wall of guns at least somewhat sorted. Hopefully, really hopefully, before the angry bitey things come back wanting to kill us. And yes, I know I can have more space between them, but it just looks cooler in my opinion having these all neatly placed like this, in terms of the electric poles. Well, there we are for now. We have our very small, very frail looking wall of guns. It should protect us at least for the time being. I've also made a radar, which I won't be putting into the electric grid just yet, because this thing consumes a lot of power. So, as you can see, energy consumption is 300 kilowatts. How much is a inserter, for instance? 13. How much is a mining drill? That would be 90, so we really don't have the resources. And apparently the guns have just defended us from their very first attack. Well done, gun turrets. Eventually, there's going to be enemies like spitters and such, which will constantly harm our gun turrets, so we're going to have to be on the lookout for that. We still have the 2 gun turrets over here. I'm going to quickly make one more and place it and completely stock it full of ammo up here, just as a precaution. And then, I think that's pretty much that done. I think we did okay today. Still got a lot to learn again. It's been a long time, like I say, since I've played. A lot of keybinds and stuff I will have to remember, and don't worry, I will be looking up that after this episode. I've just now posted episode 1, and the amount of support was lovely, by the way, so thank you so much, everyone commenting and liking on the first episode. That was fantastic. And all these guns apparently are fully stocked. Excellent. We're protected from the east. We're not really protected from the north. We're almost protected from the west. And we have red science now being completed. And look, it actually looks quite neat. Which is really weird, honestly. I'm not used to that. And even the smelting sections look quite neat. If we just look from an aerial view, everything is looking okay. That's not going to last very long, I imagine, but still, for now, it's all neat and tidy, and I'm happy with it. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Factorio is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode, we're going to be starting our progress towards green science and the more complex things, and we are going to be sorting out our energy reserves, as right now we hardly have enough electricity to even run the basic stuff, let alone if our guns are firing all the time and we're doing science. We're just going to run out of electricity in seconds. So all that next time. Thank you again, and goodbye.